Hello friends, today I'm going to show you some jQuery event methods and how to use it. So before going ahead, I will show you a brief explanation of what we are going to work on. Let's have a look at it. jQuery event methods. So jQuery was created to respond to events on the web browser or HTML page. Event methods in jQuery. All different visitors or actions that a web page can respond to are called events. An event represents the precise moment when something happens. For example, moving a mouse over an element, selecting a radio button, clicking on an element. The term fires or fired is often used with events. For example, the key press event is fired the moment you press a key. And here are some common DOM events. So mouse events. What are the mouse events that we normally use? The click, double click, mouse enter, mouse leave. There are also hover event as well. So mouse hover is also there. Keyboard events, key press, key down, key up. These are the key press events. Some form events like submit, change, focus, blur, and document or window events. They have a load, resize, scroll, unload. So these are the events normally we use using jQuery. Moving ahead, what is the syntax for event methods in jQuery? In jQuery, most DOM events have an equivalent jQuery method. To assign a click event to all the divs on a page, we can do this. $div.click within double quotes. So the next step is to define what should happen when the event fires. You must pass a function to the event. So for example, $div.click function and any action that goes in here, like an alert or change the color or fire another event. So these are the events that are work on .click function. So the commonly used jQuery event methods are document.ready. So the document.ready method allows us to execute a function when the document is fully loaded. So once the page has been fully loaded, then only you can fire an event. So that's better in case of events. Click. The click method attaches an event handler function to an HTML element, and the function is executed when the user clicks on the HTML element. Similarly, double click. The DBL click method attaches an event handler function to an HTML element. The function is executed when the user double clicks on the HTML element. And the mouse enter method attaches an event handler function to an HTML element, and the function is executed when the mouse pointer enters the HTML element. Similarly, mouse leave. The mouse leave method attaches an event handler function to an HTML element. When the function is executed, the mouse pointer leaves the HTML element. Now moving ahead, mouse down. The mouse down method attaches an event handler function to an HTML element, and the function is executed when the left, middle, or right mouse button is pressed down while the mouse is over the HTML element. Similarly, mouse up. The mouse up method attaches an event handler function to an HTML element, and the function is executed when the left, middle, or right mouse button is released while the mouse is over the HTML element. Hover. The hover method takes two functions and is a combination of the mouse enter and mouse leave method. So whenever the mouse is hovering over an element, that function is fired, so which is regulated by the hover method. So focus. The focus method attaches an event handler function to an HTML form element. Okay, so if there is a text box and whenever you are tapping on the text box, the focus method fires its function. The blur method attaches an event handler function to an HTML form field. So whenever there is a text box or a drop down, the blur event can fire on that one. Now the on method attaches one or more event handlers for the selected elements. Okay, so like on click, on mouse down or mouse up, that event is fired using the on. Let's see them in action. So beginning with the click event, let's fire this click event and see how it works. Start debugging. And we have this one, the click event. If you click on this, it will disappear. Okay, let's click on that. It didn't work. What happened? Okay. It's restarting this program. So if you click on this, this will disappear. Clicked, click me out, click me away too. So all of them disappeared when I clicked on them. So this is the click event. How is that working? You can look at this. We put in the script, the link. Wrap. Wait. So this is the jQuery link that we are using the CDN, and then we have the script, the document.ready, and within that the function to hide the element. Okay, and this is going to work on click event. So dot click. So that is hiding all the divs that are present on the HTML document. Now moving ahead, we will go to the double click. So let's stop it and restart. Now we have a double click method. So this is the head one space. If I double click, it's gone. Recheck it. I'm clicking once, it's not doing anything. I'm selecting, I'm hovering, doing nothing, but I double click and it's gone. Okay. So that's for double click. Now you can see that we have mentioned the CDN in the head section, the body, and the script is inside the body. You can put the script inside the body or in the head, depending upon your requirement. Sometimes it works right near the element. Sometimes this one works inside the head element. But most cases it works when it's near the element. Some people also put it around the footer section or just above the body section, the end body tag. So that's what we are working on this one. Yeah, but that depends on the situation where it works. So if in case something is not working within the head, normally we keep it inside the head, but if it's not working, you can keep it inside the body or close to the element. Okay. um, yeah, so that's about the double click. Let's move ahead to the mouse enter. So the mouse enter, this method attaches an event handler function to an HTML element, and the function is executed when the mouse pointer enters the HTML element. Let's run this and see it working. Okay, the mouse enter. So this is the headspace. You entered H1, so that's the mouse enter. Whenever I hover over the header tag, the H1 tag, it fires the mouse enter event. Okay, so that's about the mouse enter. Now next one we would go on to the mouse leave. So the mouse leave, this event will be executed when the mouse pointer leaves the HTML. Let's check this one. And while we have the one that's here, I put the mouse on it, it's not firing any event, but once I leave it, you left H1. So the event is fired once you leave the element, HTML element. You can see that the script CDN is inside the head and the script element is inside the body, and the HTML elements are inside the body with the script tag. Okay, next we would move on to the mouse down. So mouse down is, this function will be executed when the left, middle, or the right mouse button is pressed and while the mouse is over the HTML elements. Let's fire this and have a look at it. So when I'm hovering, it's doing nothing, but once I tap on it, you mouse down on the H1. So after I leave also it's not working. I mean, if the mouse up is also not working, but when I mouse down on it, like this one is working. Okay, what is there? So we have the script CDN, we have the body, we have the HTML elements in it, and the script tag just before the ending body tag, and it has a mouse down function. Within the function, we used an alert with your mouse down on H1 with a message, and that's within the document.ready. Okay, you must have understood like what's the document.ready. This shows that when all the elements are loaded, then only the event could be fired or else not. Now moving ahead, we will go to the mouse up event. Okay, so here is the mouse up. Okay, let's fire this and see the action. Now mouse up. Okay, down, up. Once I started to click on the mouse and I lift the mouse button, it's fired the event. Okay, so it's only when mouse is clicked up. What is there? So we have the body, we have the HTML elements, we have the script and the script CDN. The script function is there, which is fired after the document.ready, and the h1.mouseup function has a message with alert that you mouse up on the HTML element or the h1 tag. Now moving ahead, we will go to the hover. So the hover is going to be fired only when the mouse enters the HTML element, and the second function is executed when the mouse leaves. So just hovering over the element will fire the mouse hover event. So what do we have here? It will fire the H1 element which has the ID HO1, and it will give us a message. Let's fire this. Let's run that and see how it works. Now this is a paragraph and I kept my mouse on it. You entered H1. Okay. It's firing two times. Okay, so hovering is firing two times. So once I enter and once I leave. So twice this event is fired, okay? You can see that it's firing this event twice. Once I enter and once I leave. So two times. All right, so the event hover is fired twice. Now let's move on to the focus. So in the focus, what all things we have? We have the script CDN, we have the script of the focus events inside the header tag. And what is this doing? This will fire only when the document is ready. And on input.focus, the background color will change to yellow. And on input blur, the background color will change to green. And we have two HTML elements. So one is a full name and another one is email. Let's fire that and see the action. So we have two text boxes here. Once I tap inside the name, the color is changed to yellow. And once I tap outside, the color has changed to green. So inside, the color is changing. Outside, the color is changing. Same case with the email. Color is changed when I'm entering. Color is changed when I'm out. So this is when you tap inside and work inside the text box input element. The changes, color changes, and once you are out, the color also changes. Okay. So that is about focus. Now moving ahead, we will go to the blur event. So the blur event, this one is executed when the form field loses focus. Okay, let's try this one. We have two text boxes, so I will type in something in it, and once I'm gone, the text box is changed color. So this, as you can see, that on focus and on blur, which means when the focus is out, the color is changed. Okay, this is quite similar to the previous one. On focus, where is this one? The blur and the focus. It seems like hi. So the focus thing that works this way, where you can see that the dollar input dot focus, like we tap on the control and we see that in action. So the output is like when I'm tapping inside the text box element, it's turning the color to yellow. So this is what on focus. Okay, and once I'm out, it's not doing anything. So the once I'm out, the change of color is known as the blur. So if I work on the blur, wait, I'll show you the blur thing now. This was about focus, and about the blur, this is just the opposite of focus. So like when I tap on it, it will do nothing, but once I'm out of it, it will change the color. So normally what happens is we can combine this, the focus and the blur, we can combine that and it should work together to form a correct effect. So this is blur. If I go ahead and put this code inside focus, you will see the difference. I can say now the focus and blur both are combined. You can see this. When I'm inside, it's doing one color. If I'm out, it's changing the color. So that is focus and blur. So the use of focus and blur is all about it. Now moving ahead, we will go to the on method. So the on method is here. So you can type anything inside the on code block. So this one can be mouse down, this one can be click, this can be anything else. So now let's have a look at this one, how this one works. So we have used the mouse down. So once I'm tapping it, the things are hidden. Okay, so this is about on mouse down. We will have few more things inside the other one, that is the extras. Where is it here? Now we have mouse enter, mouse leave, and click, and the color changes according to that. Okay, so when I'm on it, so this is mouse enter, it's gray. When I leave it, the color is blue, and when I click on it, the color is yellow. So this is about enter, leave, and click. So that was all about this tutorial, and we will have few more videos coming in. So until we have them, stay connected, stay tuned, and happy coding.